Earnings continue with NVIDIA reporting on Wednesday, February 25th. Ahead of that are several S&P 500 stocks reporting on Tuesday, February 24th, and there are 4 that look like they might have set up soon. So let's take a look at price action, market timing, and momentum because I'm HEMA ready, and that's what I do. So I'm starting off here with HD, Home Depot. Now, this is a stock that has been recovering after a long-term downtrend from last September. However, what I'm seeing here is that it has most recently had a pullback from the February 12th high, and that's holding above the February 2nd low. The RSI power zones have pulled back to the bull support power zone, even though there was a recent bull-bear RSI face-off, a bearish pattern between price and momentum. So now I'm going to bring this intraday. So whether you're a swing trader or a shorter-term trader or a position trader, you can still use other timeframes to kind of get more detail on the levels to monitor. So in this case here, I talked about this daily chart low. I talked about the high that we've been declining from. And now what I want to look at is with this current recovery, where the RSI in the 60-minute chart is much more oversold, what does it have to get above for there to be an opportunity to take advantage of upside in Home Depot? Again, it could be fueled by earnings movement. So what I see is this level right here, 384.82. So that is the most recent high that's defining the downtrend on the 60-minute chart. So I would watch for a break above that level to suggest further upside. And let's go back to the daily chart. Initial upside target would be that 397 area ahead of a push up towards 411 or so. All right, KDP. So this is Keurig, and you can see it's had this base it's been trying to form again since September, and most recently it's higher off of the January 28th low. Now, in the grand scheme of things, this is a stock that got beat up a bit, but it is recovering, and what I like is that right now it's got this base that it's trying to form and that it's pushing into recent resistance that was tested, right? So if we can post a closing daily break above $30, then I see room for further upside towards $35 to start. Now, on a dollar basis, $5 may not sound like a lot, but when you think about percentages, right, 30 to 35, that's pretty good. That's like 18% or so. Now, when you come back and look at this recent price action, if the action moves below this low from February 9th, then I'd be more concerned about the stock weakening again back towards the $25 area. Next is AMT. So this is also beaten up, though at kind of a higher price level. And this stock most recently put in a turn yesterday and is attempting to resume higher. So this is a great opportunity for me to put in a short-term forecast. And if you have been paying attention to your emails here in our HEMA Ready Trading Tribe, the loss forecasting trading system is available, but the doors close tonight. So keep an eye on your emails if you are interested in joining that program so you can learn to forecast. So I'm going to pause the screen here, forecast, and be right back. All right, now presuming that today's candle closes around what is currently forming, okay? Because we have to make that ballpark kind of hypothesis for the forecast to unfold. If that happens, so we've got 4 more hours for that to unfold, then the forecast will be for shares of AMT to trade higher into 208.35 by March 2nd. And this is independent of the fact that this company is reporting earnings tomorrow. When you forecast and earnings happen to be around, they might just fuel the movement, okay? They don't like break forecasts all on their own. So that's a forecast for you. Keep an eye on it, monitor it, and if you don't have the skills of loss forecasting, be careful about trying to trade it directly because you won't know necessarily how to manage if the forecast is missed or price action changes. I teach how to pivot like that in the full system. All right, I've got one more for you, and that is FSLR. So FSLR has been correcting lower, but not as dramatically as some of the other stocks we just looked at. I like this little base that it's forming. It's just a very compact area where you have defined resistance, defined support, and it makes it super clear to see, hey, what does it have to do to go up versus what does it have to do to go down? So let's go back and use the intraday levels one more time, just to see more detail. So this stock would need to get above 251.36 on a daily closing basis for me to get excited about it. And if it does, then coming back to the daily chart, I think you could see it return back towards this 280 area. But again, coming back to the 60-minute chart, if before it gets up to those levels, it actually turns lower beneath 230 on the dot, which is the most recent 60-minute support, then I'd watch out for a return back to the lows of the range in the 214 area. So that's a look at some stocks that are reporting earnings on February 24th, and a look at how you can use intraday charts to kind of get more detail and refine levels. So keep an eye on the markets, keep an eye on NVIDIA as the big star of the week reporting on Wednesday. But again, all of these are individual opportunities, especially if you trade individual stocks or options on stocks. If you don't trade those markets, you should be watching these videos because I'm talking about technical concepts that apply no matter what you trade. So if you found value either in the direct stock picks or the analysis reminders or both, go ahead and hit that like button, that thumbs up there on YouTube, and I'll catch you in the next video.